Fractal's got an amazing design. Their design is they typically listen to what the customers want. And in this video, we're going over the brand new Fractal Design Pop 2 Vision case. This is going to be a complete review. We've already gone over an unboxing, then a complete build, and in this video, we're going to do a complete review of the entire system. There are a few problems. It's up to you to decide if they're deal breakers. So let's get started. So right now with my wife and kids out, we can see the ambient noise level in my office is I have the AC running to keep the house nice and cool. It's about 37, 38 dB. It was about 35 a second ago, but regardless, it's pretty quiet. Computer's off, the NAS is off as well, and we're about 3 inches away from the PC. Generally, you want to do it 3 feet away, the noise testing 3 feet away, but this works. And the side panel is off. So 1 second while it idles out in Windows. So we're about 2 feet away from the computer. Generally, 3 feet is the best way to test to get better noise levels because generally your head is going to be about 3 feet away, if not further, and we were in the upper 30s. It's incredibly quiet sitting idle in Windows. Now, I want to show you why it's like that. Let me show you the BIOS real quick. In the BIOS, if we come over here to hardware monitor, we can see that we have CPU fan 1 disabled since we don't have anything plugged in on the motherboard on that header. Pump sys fan 1 where we have the pump connected. Okay, we have smart fan mode enabled as well as fan type auto detect. So it can detect that the pump is not PWM, it's DC. So with that, we manually adjusted all the voltages. It doesn't go by PWM, it goes by DC, which is voltages. So at the lowest, at 13 degrees Celsius, it's 2.16 volts. And then of course, going all the way up to 90 degrees Celsius, up to 12 volts. And we can see that climb right up here. Now, system fan 1, that is a PWM fan. We have all that set to auto as well. And we manually moved everything here. But because it's PWM, 16 degrees Celsius goes up to 24%. 85 degrees Celsius goes up to 100% fan speed. Sys fan 4, we did all the same thing. It is a DC fan. And then 16 degrees Celsius brings it up to 3.12 volts. 85 brings it up to 12 volts. So the same ramp right up here. That's all we did to get those temperatures. Now I'm going to save and exit even though there's nothing to change. So you can see my temperature is 67 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 19.44 degrees Celsius. My house is nice and cool, which helps my PC stay nice and cool as well. The cool air coming in from my AC goes into my PC, cools all the components, and then exhausts through the rear. The hotter your house is, the hotter the inside of your PC will be. So if you notice your temperatures are higher, that might be it. But also I played with the fan curve, so hopefully that helps you as well. All right, so we're back in the upper 30s, been idling for a little while. And with that, the temperature of the desk is typically going to be the temperature inside the machine as well. That's where the air has been sitting. So we can see down here, 20.5 degrees Celsius, and that's where the air is getting sucked up from, so it's getting cooled that way. And I'll show you the rest in a little bit. I am going to start up AIDA64, and we'll go to overclock. And let's go ahead and start stressing the CPU. Now, this is going to take a few minutes, but we can see already up to 100%, and the temperature on the CPU is slowly climbing. It's already at 69, it hits 70 degrees. We can see right up here where it shows that's the CPU. Anyway, we'll be back in 20 minutes. So you can see we're between 44 and 47 dB. It's incredibly quiet. The CPU is running at 100%, can't do anything else, and the temperature is between 75 and 76 degrees on that CPU core, a little bit lower on the other cores, and it's running incredibly quiet and nice and cool. Even if we come up here, where all the noise is coming from, let's say between 54 and 55 dB, but you're not going to have your ears right here. Generally, you're going to be about 3 feet away from the computer like I am right now. (42 and 43 dB. So this is incredibly quiet. We're only doing CPU here though. Well, actually we're doing GPU as well, but regardless, it's incredibly quiet. So yeah, we can see the GPU is at 100% and the CPU is at 100%. So the system, the liquid cooling unit, the case, the graphics card, all incredibly quiet. And opening up GPU-Z, come under sensor. And the GPU's at a cool 63.5 degrees. With Cyberpunk 2077, let me just go into these settings real quick. I haven't played it just yet, but you can see we're at 4K. And we have custom here. And actually, I don't know why it says custom. Let's go to... yeah, let's go right over here. So we're running at defaults here. And again, we're at 4K. So let's go ahead and run a quick benchmark. Top left-hand corner, we have the GPU temperature, CPU temperature, frame rate, frame time, frame rate, all that good stuff there. We can see so far the hottest it's gotten is 66 degrees on the GPU. Everything's staying nice and cool inside of this case. And again, we're at 4K. Mind you, we are using DLSS and a bunch of 67 degrees, but still at 4K, that is running beautifully. And other than changing the resolution, I didn't change anything and it's working great. It is a steel case. It can take up to an E-ATX case. Now, they don't list that it can take an E-ATX case because it's not reverse compatible, meaning you can't use the reverse motherboard connectors. But if you're using front, you'll be able to use it. Again, they don't advertise it that way. And it can go down to a mini ITX case, but that's kind of gonna be overkill for this case. Now here we can see it took a 5070 Ti, no problem, and we had plenty of space because even a 5090, the biggest one, is 359 millimeters. And this case can take up to 412 millimeters. So it's got plenty of space and more than enough for anything so far. Now, pre-installed, it comes with 4 fans, 2 along the side over here and 2 along the bottom down there. Now, they're reverse fans, so it looks like they're sucking air out, but they're actually blowing air in. The bad thing about the fans is that you can't replace them. Mind you, you can swap them out with other 120s, but you can't use 140s. And you can't also put radiators on the bottom, which you don't want to do, but you can't put radiators along the side, only along the top. So some of you may not like that fact. It doesn't bother me too much as long as we can fit in here a 360 millimeter radiator, which we can. Up to a 360 millimeter radiator. Thank you, Fractal. Again, you listen to us. This is a dual chamber case, meaning in the front here, you could fit the motherboard, GPU, all that good stuff. Then on the rear here, you can fit up to 2 power supplies and you have plenty of room for cabling. Up to 93 millimeters, so that's plenty of room. If you're using something like the Corsair Shift, you might have to use the top of the 2 because the bottom one has a piece of metal that hits the cables as you saw in the video. But once we moved it up, it was no problem whatsoever. So the convenience of the Shift is not so convenient here. It's not bad, but it's not as convenient as in other cases. I really like the fact that it is almost totally toolless. You can take off the top filter, the bottom filter, the rear panel, the front panel, or should I say the side panel, then the front panel, just take them off. They come off easily and it is welcome. The only tools that I can think of right now that you'll need are for the graphics card, the radiator up at top, the motherboard, and then for the power supply. Aside from that, It is toolless and it is great. I really like what they've done with this case so far. The cool thing is that I thought it would be an issue while you benchmarked or while you gamed or while you edited videos, that the filter up here would cause issues, because why do you need a filter when you're exhausting air? But actually, the way they've designed it, they did an amazing job. It went down 1 or 2 degrees, but then it kind of slowly crept back up to what it was before. Aside from fitting a 360 up here, you can do a 280, a 240, a 120. You can even put a 120 in the rear. It doesn't come with a fan along the rear. You could put one, but with everything it has and the noise level that I found during my testing, I think it's amazing. You don't need anything back here at all. You can fit up to a 172 millimeter cooler in here. So if you don't use liquid cooling like I have here, if you have a fan, it can be incredibly tall. You can see that right over here. The glass up here is 412 millimeters. So it is incredibly thick. I didn't break it, but you can fit everything right in here and you still have plenty of space. They have grommets in nice spots down here as well. So nothing is out of the ordinary, nothing's out of place. As it is right now, the system almost looks cableless, wireless, but this is a fully functioning system as you saw in the review. So they have perfect panels everywhere. The graphics card is kind of a cheat, the way that they have the power right up here, but aside from that, it looks beautiful and cables are amazing. The entire case, panels and all, they're steel, and there might be well, maybe not. There's probably a few pieces of plastic in there, but for the most part, the case is made up of entirely steel and it feels real nice and cool to the touch. So as you saw here, you can fit up to 3 2.5 inch drives or one 3.5 inch drive and one 2.5 inch drive. And the way that they put it, that you can either put it at the bottom if you have the power supply at the top, or if you swap it, have the power supply at the bottom, you could put that panel at the very top. And then you can hide all of the cabling mess behind all the panels and everything. It looks great. I don't particularly like using the Velcro they include. A lot of manufacturers include. I find it very cumbersome and it just doesn't look that great. I prefer zip ties and just hiding things like I did here. And to me, it looks great. Let me know what you think down below. One of the bad parts is that it only has one USB type A and one USB type C. They are both 5 gigabits per second at least, so they're fast, but still there's only one. I would have preferred 2 USB 3.0/2.0 and either 1 or 2 USB type Cs. You are able to use a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the case that will work both for microphone and headphones if you have that kind of set. So that's kind of cool. All in all, I think Fractal Design did an amazing job on this case, and with the RGB lighting, with your motherboard and graphics card design and what it has, I think they did a great job. You can add more to it if you'd like, but as it is, I think it's awesome, especially for the price. So the Fractal Design Pop 2 Vision case gets 760 megabytes from me. Not a full gig, but very close to it. Iggy with ThisBytesForYou out. See you guys.